Salt Gamer, back on Mars. I've done a bunch of mining in between episodes, so I won't have to bore you with that too much. Couple plans for today. We're going to put a battery here, automate this, so we'll get into IC code a little bit. I may have to upgrade this to level 2. Let's see if I can make a, what's it called, a tablet? No. So I may have to upgrade to level 2 to get, I'll use a computer. That's what most people start with, so we'll make a computer. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is discuss a couple things. Food on Mars is not an emergency. You have cans of food in the green in here, so you don't have to worry about food too much. That's not the right one. One of these has food in it. Maybe it's the blue one. No, one of these has food in it. There it is, the yellow one. So you got 3 cans of food. As you see, I ate once. It takes about 13%. So you have time for food. It's something that you want to plan for, but it's not an emergency. You also have 3 full bottles of water. That's about 4 drink worths. And you used to have, I don't know if they still have it, you used to have a water. Maybe they took care of that and got rid of it. Oh, there it is. So there is a water canister up here with 12 liters, or 10 liters. That has about 10 bottles of water in it. So making water isn't an absolute emergency either. So the first thing you want to do is think about getting a small breathing area set up, organizing your power a little bit, and getting some steel. Now, steel is up to you when you want to do it. I like to do it earlier because it helps with a lot of different things that you're going to need. And I'll go down the list eventually, but as you can see in my inventory right here, I have 150 iron. And in case you don't know, all the ores steel ingot. All the ores have, I would call it formulas. I'm sure there's better words for it. But for steel, you need a 3-to-1 ratio of coal to iron. It's 3 iron to 1 coal. So if I use 3 stacks of 150 and 1 stack of 50 of coal, that'll give me 200 steel. So there's an asteroid. So let's fire up the furnace. I gotta close this first. Remember, when you drain it, you gotta reclose that, or else your gases will go right into the atmosphere. And I'm gonna split this. This is so that's good. I can split this in half. Chuck that in there real quick and see if it. Yep, it alright. You did it. So that was around, I don't know how much I put in there, but I'm going to need probably 6, I think it's going to be 6 oxygens. So I could do it this way. You're going to lose some this way, but if you split one and do it as fast as you can, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then chuck it in there, you'll be relatively close. And then ignite it, and boom. Okay, so you're not over pressurizing, you got good temperature. Another thing with steel, it has the pressures and the temperatures you need. It doesn't have it here, unless I'm not seeing it. Oh yeah, no. They must have changed this. Oh, here it is down here. I don't usually worry about the steel too much, but you need, it's basically any pressure, very unlimited, and you need above 900 degrees. So the steel is very easy to make. I gotta throw the iron in there, and it'll smelt through this. A lot of the things that you make with steel are actually in the long term cheaper than using iron. Like steel frames use different ratios, and I think in the long term it's better to use steel. I probably won't do that here, but okay. So now I got that made. Let's see if I go over here. Let's see about making a battery. I don't think for the lower level battery I need steel. Kit battery. I do. So that's a good reason to make steel. So I'll take my steel and throw that in there. And I need gold. I think I needed gold. Yeah. And I have some gold over here that I smelted. And we'll make that. Okay. This probably will take a little while. Again, keeping in mind right now, I'm using this tiny little battery to power with, so you got to kind of keep an eye on it. I did charge everything up right before I started. Now, I'm going to make some more iron frames. I'll do that in iron sheets. I'll do that in pause mode so you don't have to watch me. But basically, you make those in the auto lathe. But I want to get the battery and automate the, I didn't make any solder. I think I might need solder for that. But 36. This is taking a little while, so let's go ahead and use the ones I got right now. So I'm not gonna have nearly enough, but I'm gonna put my living area off this way. So I'm just kind of killing time till this is made. Let me go ahead and pause it, and maybe I'll make some iron frames, sheets, and I think I need solder to make the computer. Solder is pretty easy to make also, although the temperature is lower. This will be. So you need, it can't be above 550, which is actually pretty low. So what you'll want to do, and it's 1 iron to lead, what you want to do is let this cool down. You can do other ores, and when it cools down you can throw some iron and lead in there. And I'm waiting for the battery. Okay, that's just about done, so I'll go ahead and wait for that. Okay, now I also want a small transformer. That's relatively cheap if I remember, yes. And I only want one of those. So while that's setting up, I'll put the battery, make sure you put the inputs the right way. That's really a good setup right there. I actually think I'll twist it because that'll give me room to put the transformer here. So we'll do that, turn this off for now, bring the transformer over here. Now I'm going to cut the power. Now you can do this, the battery's the only thing running stuff right now anyway. Because I want to. Now at the beginning you can get away with the light cables here. Technically, I think I'm going to use heavy cables from here to the battery to the transformer. You can do that pretty easily at this level. We'll turn this back on. Nope. Coil. We'll use heavy cables. That way you don't have to worry about the battery. Did I just click it? No. You don't have to worry about the battery pulling too much voltage initially, more than 5,000, and you will cook your wires in here. So I could put the transformer down while that's making some of those, and that's a good direction right there. And I can wire the transformer up, and you can set this, oops, I'm going the wrong way. Now these cables can hold 5,000 kilowatts, or 5,000 watts I should say, not 5,000 kilowatts. So I turn it up to 4,900. That way you know no matter what you put on here, it's not going to, and that's plenty, it's not going to pull more power than the wires can handle. What will happen is if this goes above, if your power drain goes above 5,000 watts, and this is set for 49, things will start to turn off and on. It'll be like brownouts almost. Alright, and then I'm going to, again, just to be safe, use heavy cables so I don't have to worry about things pulling too much voltage. And obviously I'm not done with that battery yet, but I want to get this hooked up. Okay, so now that's hooked up to the input of the battery. I actually want to hook up, and I'm going to need one more cable. You're going to find out that you're going to need one more cable all the time. It's kind of annoying. And I don't know if you can hear the lawnmowers outside. We have our first sunny day in a while, and everybody in the neighborhood is mowing their lawn. Alright, so let's get this constructed. I think I need, is it iron sheets? We'll find out. Yep, and screwdriver. So I think this is relatively easy. Hand drill to deconstruct. So that's it. This battery is very handy in the beginning of the game in conjunction. Now it's not going to do anything because I don't have this on. But as soon as I turn this on, it starts to charge this battery. Now, that means you're using your output of your solid generator much more efficiently. This will fill up pretty quick and last you a long time. And we'll turn this on, and now you can see with the blue flashing, if your battery is not charging, it flashes red-blue. If your battery is charging, it flashes green-blue. So that's a good kind of thing to keep an eye on too. Alright, I'm out of coal. I did mine some extra coal, so we'll put another one in there. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to automate this so I don't have to come over here and turn this on and off. And this will be an introduction to the IC code. The IC code will automatically monitor the charge of the battery and turn this on and off as needed. So let me let this charge up a little bit. And unfortunately this battery, I don't think, tells you without IC code what the charge is. You just have the indicator lights. There's 4 green. And like I said, this will last much longer than relying on the power controller to keep things charged up. And once this turns all blue, I'm going to turn that off. Should be pretty soon. There we go. So now that battery is fully charged. You're going to save a lot of coal this way, especially once you automate it. Let me make the computer. Do I need, nope, I don't need solder for that. I may need solder for the IC, well, I will for the chip. So I will for the chip. So let me pause it. I'll do some solder. It's pretty easy. You use a lower temperature of the furnace, just iron and lead. I don't have any lead, so I'm going to have to mine some lead. And I'll use this cooler temperature to go ahead and make the solder because it is going down. So I'll be right back. Okay, so after a little running around, I made solder, which is in here, and I also made a little bit of electrum. Both of them are relatively easy. Electrum is gold and silver. And you just got to make sure you have the temperatures. I did have the gold that I could use over there. And there's your descriptions. Gold's relatively easy. There's no pressure limitation. I mean, uh, eh, electrum. There we go. There's a pressure limitation, but that's not too hard to do. I just let the pressure out, and the temperature's relatively low too. So I made the solder and the electrum pretty much at the same time. I did the electrum first, since you can have a higher temperature. That cooled off the furnace enough where I could do what I needed to do to make the solder. So it all worked out pretty good. And as you see, all that time, this battery is still good. I haven't used the generator at all, so I recommend getting this battery in combination with this and the transformer pretty quick, because it does save you a lot of hassle over here. And it's up to you if you want to automate this. I'm going to, and I'm going to need some big cables now that I'm thinking. I did make, while everything was cooking, I did make enough iron frames to start, and iron sheets will have enough of that, but I do need a couple. And I got the computer and all the stuff I need to do a little bit of IC code. So we'll just put that right here for now. This is easy to plop down and move around. Not a big deal. I should have enough cables already for that, actually. You just got to wire, and of course I need the clippers. Just got to wire that. Oops, I had it. And that. Alright. And once you have that done, all you need to do to complete the computer is a screwdriver, and it's done. Now you do need to put a motherboard in here. I'm using an IC editor motherboard because I'm going to do an IC program. Now what I'm going to do is read the ratio of charge. You know what? I need a configuration board. It'll be easier to explain it. I think I can make a configuration card here. Config. Yes. And I'll show you what that does here in a minute, but it'll be easier to explain. After a while, you know this stuff and you don't need the configuration card, but I'm trying to keep this pretty easy to figure out. I got that in the way, so now I lost that. So you put the configuration card in your laptop, and what that does, you can look at this, and it'll tell you the variables you can work with. And the one I want to look at is power ratio. That's telling me that it's 0.88% charged, or 88% charged is a better way of wording that. So what I'm going to tell the computer, the IC program, to do is when this gets down to 40 or 50, we'll go with 50, so 0.55, go ahead and turn the generator on, and then when it gets to 0.95 or 98, whatever number you want to use, turn the generator back off. So I won't have to sit here and worry about when to turn the power on and off. So I got the computer all set up, the things you need to do an IC program, and unfortunately I'm still going to need some more cables, is a housing and a chip. I don't think I have enough cables. I think I'm going to be one short again. Constantly one cable short. Yep. So with these connectors, there's a power. Now all these are a little different. The housing has just got two. It's got a power and a data connection. That's what the little block there is for. So I need one more cable. Well, I left that on. Probably not as big a deal with the big battery, but I still, oh, dang it. I certainly don't need 2 of those. That was a waste of material. That'll go into the recycler in the future. And we're just going to print out one because that's all I need for time's sake here. Okay, so that's wired up. Now, one of the important things, you want to keep this stuff organized, and that'll come into play later on. You have this labeler. Unfortunately, there's usually not any room in your toolbox for it. It looks like I might have enough, but let's see if I can do this right. Whoa, there we go. What I want to label, we're going to call this the generator IC housing. And this is already called station battery, so that's okay. And this is called solid tool generator, so that's okay. You don't have to worry about labeling anything else. So let's get into how you program this chip to do what you want it to do. So this is your computer screen. Now you see the only housing I have connected is the generator IC housing. If I had more of them hooked up, there would be a list here. That's why you want to label it, because you don't want to import or export the wrong program into the wrong housing. It becomes a pain. So the basic the basic programming is just a matter of practice. When you alias something, it's just a quick way to label stuff so it's easier to program later on, and you'll see how that comes into play. So the first thing I'm going to label is generator, and don't mind if I misspell stuff. And you have six data clips here. You got D0 through D5, so there's 6 total. So I am aliasing to position D0 the generator. So then I want to alias this, and I'll just put battery. You can put it however you want. There's no wrong. This is just a label to make it easier for you. D1. Now see, for this program, I'm only going to be talking to the generator and the battery. I don't need to talk to anything else, so that's all I need to alias to start with. So keeping that in mind, if you ever want to program something, you have 4 slots you can use on this chip still, and you can just add it into this program. So I don't want to get too much into branching, but this is a branch or a call, and what this is telling the computer, every time I want to rerun the program, I'm going to jump it to start. So you can make this anything with a colon after it, and I'll show you how that loops back. Now, loading, it's just L. Loads, it sounds complicated if you've never done this before. It's really not. Load what register, what data spot, 0 through 5, and what do you want to load, the logic type. So you'll be using R0 a lot. That's just basically register 0, and you can either put D0 or generator, but to make region you alias those spots, it makes it a lot easier to, in a long, oh my goodness, I'm talking at the same time, generator. And the logic type, remember what I said, and it'll tell you if this is wrong or not, but I think it's ratio. See how it changed? It's red there. That means that's not a good logic or configuration item. But when I put the O in there, not 0, the O, see how it changes colors. Now my color blindness limits me on that, but I think to me it's just a brighter shade of red. So I loaded the generator ratio, Now I want to say branch if less than, BLT, if less than, and you can put R0, and you have to put 0.50. If what the ratio is less than 50, then you want to put what you want it to do, and I'm going to put turn on. Now that's red. That's okay. Just keep that in mind for a minute. And then you want to do branch greater than. If R0 is greater than, and we'll make it 0.98, turn off. Now I always, there's just a catch in here. What if the ratio equals 50 or 98? It's going to bypass both of those, because if it's 50, it's not going to jump to turn on, and it's not greater than 98, so it's not going to jump to turn off, so it's going to skip both of those. Just as a safety thing, I like to put jump start. So basically this is saying if it's 50 or 98, don't just keep going, go back to start, and it'll keep looping through this. You don't necessarily have to do this. I do it because I think it's a safety thing. When you start talking about pressures and stuff, you don't want it to just uncontrollably keep code going, and that's not a big deal. Ignore that. Now, these are red. Why are these red? Because I'm telling it to go to a call that does not exist. So now I'm going to put turn on, colon, and notice that turns blue, because now it says, oh, I see, I knew where you want me to go. Now, how do I tell the generator to turn on an IC code? You use the save command. And again, if you highlight over this, and it also says it there, save what? So you want to save to what data chip, or data D0 through D5. So you put save to generator, and I did it again, generator, and I fat fingered that one, generator. What logic type? On. I want to turn it on. If you want to turn it on, it's a binary. It's either 0 or 1. So I can either, in this case I'm just going to put 1. And then at that point, that part is done. So I want to jump to start. I use capital J. Don't use capital J. Jump to start. Then, since I still have to tell it how to turn off, you do turn off, and I did that wrong, off, colon, and it turned blue, so you know it knows what you're talking about. Here you want to save generator. I got to take care of that, but I'm going to do this first. Generator on 0, which is telling it to turn off. And then you want to jump to start. I see it's very hard at first, but once you get used to it, it's actually not that bad. You can do a lot of things with this. I am not an expert at this. I am okay. I can make this work pretty well with a lot of different ways. Now, a lot of people will program this and use up, 11 lines instead of 15. That's okay. I can also get rid of the spaces. I just put that in there. It just ignores spaces. So what this does now, very simple. By the way, you want to add a yield in here. This just pauses the program for a tick. If you don't put that in there, sometimes if your programs get long and complicated, it might lock up. It's always a good idea to put a yield in there to tell the computer to take a breath. That doesn't really affect anything. So anyway, once this runs, it'll go to start. It'll load the ratio, see if it's less than or greater than those two numbers, and go to the appropriate spot. And with that little bit of programming, I'm going to be able to automate my generator where I won't have to pay attention to it other than to keep coal in it. So you hit confirm. Now, you want to export this to that chip. So you want to make sure generator IC housing, export. Now if you import, you're going to overwrite all your programs. So this is very careful. If you hit import here, you're going to completely wipe out what you just programmed, because it's going to import a blank chip, and it will import it and erase it all. So be very careful. Import your loading from the chip, export your loading to the chip. So you hit export. Now I can go back here, and you can see it has some data points in there. 372 bytes of information. If you look at the bottom right side of the little display over there. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my screwdriver ready, and I'm just going to turn this on, and it's going to show me an error. That's perfectly fine. Ignore at this point what it says here. The reason there's an unknown error is because I haven't told it what to connect to generator. It says generator no device. So I just hit the left mouse button, and since it says generator, I want to go till I see, and did I wire up? I did not. It's not going to find that because I did not wire up the data point. So I am going to go back over here, put up, let's see, 1, 2, maybe 5 heavy cables. If you can't find the device in the list when you scroll through it, you probably have one or two things. You don't have the device port connected, the data port, or you have a power controller in the way. I should explain that real quick too. Notice I put this on the back side of the power controller. So if I wanted to use this chip to talk to, say, the autolated, it would not, because this isolates any of the data on the downside from the upside, and there's a reason for that. I got all sorts of warnings going off here. Let me drink a little bit of water. Now you notice there's a new warning up there in the upper right hand corner here. Because I've been wearing my helmet for so long and mining off the screen, I'm starting to stink basically. That lowers your morale. I can't do anything about that right now because I don't have my living area made yet. That's next on my list. So let's connect this data. There it is. What's it doing up there? Let's see if I have enough cables. I may have to print more. I don't know. It looks like I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna need more. Now you want to make sure this goes to the data side of this. I'm definitely going to need more. I should have just let it run. I'm trying to save time, and I'm actually costing time in the long run here. You do want to be careful wiring around the battery. It'll scare the daylights out of you. If you do short it, it'll let you know. It'll do a big old bang. So if I, and I could be wrong and I'm not going to show it. Oh, I thought I had that. If I happen to wire this back into here so it loops back into the positive side, I would probably short out the wires, and it would not be happy. It would blow out a wire. So it's not a big deal. It's just that you have to cut the wire back off. So I am not going to wire it back to the power side because it's already wired to the power side. Sometimes it'll blow a wire. Sometimes it doesn't. It's best just to be careful that you, and like I said, it's no big deal. See, nothing went bang, so I'm okay. I'm going to turn that off. Yeah. Alright, so now when I go to this, I should be able to find the generator. There it is, generator solid fuel. So you want that. That's why you name it something similar, because you see I named it generator. and it says, okay, I'm connected to the generator. Now I have to do this for the battery also. Station battery. Now we're good to go. Now if I hit this, I have an error. What happened? That's a problem. Incorrect logic type line 5. So did I type that wrong? That's funny because it says ratio is good. Let's see. Ratio 0.73. RATIO, and it lit up. Let me double check this. Generator, generator, battery, battery. That should work. I wonder if I can't put that 0 in there. Let's try and get rid of the 0. Nope, I have to put the 0 there. Ratio. Well, if it's not going to let me use that one, let's see if there's another one I can use. I'm sure that's what I always use. This is the fun part of this game in a way. Sometimes I do have the battery. Yep, I have the... That should work. Load R0 generator ratio. It's saying that's not right. But it's also telling me that's a good. Weird. Maybe I need to pop it. Sometimes you can pop it down. That's, nope. Incorrect logic type line 5. Okay, so the data is connected. I'm sure a lot of people are sitting there saying, you idiot, you got to do this. Station battery. Generator, generator. Battery, station battery. That doesn't make any sense to me. Charge isn't going to work. That's not a good number. Ratio should work. Ratio. Or I can do this way. Station. Station battery. Ratio. Read. I'm not writing to it. I'm reading to it. That should work. There's got to be something simple here that I'm missing. Ratio 0.7. Incorrect. Logic type line 5. Alright, let me pause this while I try and figure this out here. So I don't want to... I'll let you know what I find out when I'm done. Yep, I'm an idiot. I don't want to load the generator ratio. I want to load the battery ratio. See, stupid simple thing. Now, re-export it, and bam, it's working. See, that's a stupid thing. I knew it was something stupid that I was doing. I was trying to read the ratio of the generator instead of the ratio of the battery, and the generator doesn't have a ratio. So, simple fix, just a dumb mistake. Now, I have coal, so when this will actually, if you hover over it, no, it doesn't. If I had a reader, it would tell you the ratio. But basically, when this gets down to 50, it'll turn the generator on. So instead of having to feed coal in it constantly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out a couple chutes. Regular chutes, maybe 3. Just takes a little iron, no big deal. We'll do 4, because I know the last one I want to do takes 2. So I'm going to put the chute corner here, facing out. If I can stop falling in the hole. Alright, and then the straight. And then I'm going to keep using the roller bone until I have an inlet. And we're going to, we'll put the inlet over there. So now I'm going to take all my spare coal. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to throw it in the chute using the Q key. 2. And third one. Okay, now you can see the chutes are full. Now, this is going to go through 150 coal before I ever have to worry about it again. So that works out really handily. You can shut this off. You do not have to leave the computer on because everything's in there. And I'm getting hollered at by quite a few things here. I don't want to dump my waste tank because I want that air. And you can also see my oxygen here is getting a little low. I'm getting close to building my living space here. There's this maintenance stuff has to be done. And you have an oxygen tank on your lander. Be careful because that does, on some planets where there's no gravity, that sometimes takes off. Now, you can just let this sit here, but if you get a storm, it's going to blow away, and you don't want that to happen. So, I am just going to drop it, and then I'm going to refill my canister by taking it out of here. It's going to holler at you, but that's okay. Take it in here, drop it in there. There we go. Now I have enough air to last me quite a while. But this is loose. I want to secure that. So in case I get a storm, which don't get any warning at the beginning of the game, it just starts storming. So I want to do a connector. And you want the portable tank connector. This is a temporary thing, but this will keep your tank from blowing away in the wind. So I'm going to, we'll put it right here. And then you pick this up, and it works better if you hover a little bit. Go up just a little bit. Center it over that. Right there. And then hit the Q key to drop it. And then you take the wrench and you just tighten it in. And now that won't blow away. It'll be safe from harm. The problem is you cannot refill your canister with it connected. It will not let you do it. So if you need to refill your canister, you disconnect it and then drop it and then reconnect it. I get a little sidetracked there, but that's kind of a maintenance thing that popped up that I needed to take care of. Okay, let's quickly, you know what, canisters are cheap. I don't want to waste that CO2. I want to save it to pressurize my room a little bit. So let's do a canister, gas canister. These fly out at funny angles sometimes, so don't let it give you a heart attack. Boom. So I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to put the empty canister in there so I can get rid of that warning. And then I'm going to put the full canister there. Alright, so now I got all my warnings except for shower, which is okay. Taken care of. I'm going to get rid of this a little bit. In the early part of the game, and this is an old habit, before they fixed it, you couldn't have things sticking through the floor. It wouldn't seal correctly. And they got rid of that. So what do you want to make the starter room? Excuse me. It's up to you what size you make. You don't want to go real big to start with. I'll probably do 5 by 3, which is actually kind of big. But on Mars it's not a problem. Now, you do want to, and I'm going to have to make more steel for this. But you do want to seal these completely, or some more iron sheets. So you want to do the double on these. 1, 2, 1, 2, because you want to seal them from the atmosphere. Oh, I turned it off for some reason. Alrighty. And my OCD is going to make me try and clear this off. It's a silly thing, but I like to be able to see that, yeah, my room is sealed. There we go. Okay, so my bottom floor is done. Alright, now a lot of people will use iron walls. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to do this one, don't I? Iron walls, which you can do. Some planets, you'll get yourself in trouble using iron walls because they can only stand 2 atmospheres, or 200 kPa, and places like Venus will just eat an iron wall for lunch. So I always go with iron frames. And just to start this, you want to seal it up. So I'm just going to go around the outside, and I may have to pause it to make more iron frames and stuff. And I'll do that. You all know how to make iron frames in the I actually didn't need to put that one there. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this, so whatever you want to do. I'm going to do it here, there. I have to seal these up. And I think I'm okay to do it there. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out the best place to put my airlock. But to start with, and be careful, if you seal yourself into a frame, you will kill yourself. So don't stand into a frame that you're working on. I'm out of iron sheets. Okay, let me mix some iron sheets and some more iron frames, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm putting out some iron frames. While we're doing that, I can come over here and finish some work over here. Welder, there it is. Okay, I am probably going to put an iron wall here. On Mars you can get away with that. Again, completely seal these. I made 50 iron sheets, so that might be enough. I don't know for sure. There's an advantage to using iron walls. You can put wires and pipes and things like that through them without taking them apart, where if you want to put a wire, and I'm going to leave this open just because of that, a wire and a cable through a frame, you have to tear it down first. Well, if you've got this pressurized, to tear it down, you're going to depressurize your whole room. And let's see if that's enough iron frames here. What do I got here? 20, maybe. Alright, so I've got everything but that corner, so now I got to go across the top. You got to have the top sealed. And again, you can make a small room that's in the meters. This is why I made so much iron. I've almost used up probably 2/3 of the iron that I made already. but I have enough frames, so that's a good start. Now, I'm going to put one above here. I'm not going to seal that one yet either. You can also put iron walls up here to let the sun in, and lets light in. Now, you have absolute greenhouse effect, so if you let the sun in here, it's going to warm your room up. So you can do that, but you're going to have to consider long term, you're going to have to cool your room. And I automate my greenhouse with grow lights, so I don't care if I let the sun in here or not. If you want to let the sun in, you can. It will affect the temperature of your room, so keep that in mind. I'm out of frames, steel frames again, steel sheets. Alright, why do I have that running? Let me make some steel sheets again and I'll be right back. Okay, while that's going, let me run over here. Just to let you know, maintenance-wise, I did take another bottle of water, but I want to come over here and grab, as soon as I find it, my iron walls. We'll put that up here. I want to grab my active vent, my console, my sensor. I'm going to have my hands full here. And my disc. Now, I could take the... Oh, I need the doors. Boy, my hands are going to be full. Let's put this down here and take the doors. We'll start with that. I think in most cases you have an advanced airlock. If I do, there. I want to use the advanced airlock. We're going to take that. And I'll explain that to you in a little bit here. And then we'll be, just after I pressurize it, I'm going to put that in the data disk down there. That's good enough for frames. That should be 50. That's not enough. There's something wrong. Alright, I also grabbed the iron wall. So I'm going to put an iron wall here. Not a window. I could put a window there. I may have to move the inlet to the... But that's okay. I want to do an iron wall. It doesn't matter what type, really. They're not very aesthetic, but you can cover them up. That does seal your room. Now keep in mind, if your room gets to 200 kPa for some reason, that's going to blow out. So you have to keep that in mind. Welder, let's finish sealing this up as much as I want to until I get to the door. Now, I don't want to seal this yet because you can't run cables. Sorry, my OCD kicked in. Get out of here. Thank you. You can't run cables through your airlock. So you have to run cables through another section. Speaking of which, I don't know how much. I'm almost out of gold in there. I still have gold over here, so we're okay. There's 100. That'll keep that. So I'm going to make a bunch of wires. I wire my bases up with heavy wire. And the only reason I do that is because eventually you're going to have to replace it if you don't. And I don't like doing that. So while those are printing, let's break the doors out here. I thought I got the doors. Doors. Sensor. Did I put the door over here? Oh, there they are. I'm just blind. There's the doors. Now, there's a couple different kind of doors you can use. These will all stand On Mars, you shouldn't have a problem. On places like Venus, you have to be a little bit more picky. I kind of like the hatch, but in this case, I think I will use the composite door. Now, when you put this in, you want the cables inside. And you just hit that. Then you hit C, and you must make sure your cables are inside. You can see that they are. And you hit C. So now that's the doors are done. I'm going to go grab these. And put them someplace. Right there. So the beginning of your doors are in place. Now, do I have the power controller? I want to isolate my living space from anything outside here to start with. So I'm going to put a power controller right here. And you notice I got the power arrows pointing in. And I don't have, oh, I can make a large battery because I have steel. Let's do that. It's another good reason for making steel. You can make large batteries. Oh boy, fat finger. Large cell. There you go. And see, it does take steel. So I like to make steel pretty quick. It has its advantages. And again, I'm sorry for the delay here. Of course, this battery will be completely decharged. Uncharged? Discharged? Uncharged. It's not discharged because I haven't used it yet. So it's uncharged, not charged. Anyway, I'll put that in there. I won't turn that on just because I'm going to need it. And of course it's flashing all sorts of nastiness because it doesn't have anything. Now you can connect two different kind of cables, but only on a straight path, I believe. So let me get rid of that. I think you can. I might be wrong. So I can do that, and then I think, yep. Now this is kind of a silly thing, but eventually I'm going to rewire all this. This isn't going to initially draw more than 5,000 because it's going through the charger. So once my base is more complete, I'll rewire all this stuff to the heavy cables. Now you can see I got a blue light. And my battery's charging because it's coming out of there. So now, because this is a data cutoff, anything after this, I will not be able to talk to out here, and anything before this, if I'm in here, I can't talk to my autolay because I have a data cutoff point here. But that's okay. So now I'm going to need more cables, and I'm going to be one short to make it through. All I wanted to do was make it through. I'm going to need a bunch of them anyway. I'm just going to let it run. But I need one more before I can go any further here. I do have my pipes. And my hands are getting quite full there. Oh, I printed another battery. That's okay. I can use that. I went coils. I don't usually make these mistakes, but that'll come in handy later. That's not going to waste, that's for certain. Okay, so I just wanted one more cable to start here with. So now I have power going into my living space. The reason I grabbed, oh, and you see the generator just kicked on. And it just kicked back off. So the generator automation did work. It recharged it. And I am going to have to move these because now I can't see my coal supply, but that's okay. Now what I like to do is eventually I'm going to put my atmospheric somewhere outside here. So if you don't have pipe running through, it becomes a problem. So keep in mind, do some piping in advance. I usually do 4. Going through a steel frame, or I keep saying steel, I mean iron frame. And that's all the pipe I have, so that's enough to start with. I can also go through the iron wall with it without any problem. And I should have a bunch of cables over here now. You always want to look around, not laying around. I'm going to keep them printing. So now, plastic sheets, I need them for the door. And my hands are very full. So let's do this first. I'm going to put your console over here. A good place to put it is right in the center. Then you can take this out of your hand, not the atmospherics. I put it over here. Try not to walk into the door. I want the advanced airlock. And I'm going to tell you why I use an advanced airlock before we disappear here. Then you take the sensor and you want a gas sensor by using the roller, and I'm trying to figure out the best space for this. I think I'll put it over here. I can't do it right now. I don't like putting it on the floor. I need that for the... I think I can put it here. It's easy to move. I'm going to put it there for now. Grab the rest of these cables. That should be enough. Okay. Now, what do I need to finish these doors? Let's break out the welder. These didn't stack. There we go. It should tell me. I need plastic sheets in my right hand. That's why I grabbed... I thought I did. Didn't I grab my plastic sheets? That's weird. I thought I grabbed them. Losing my mind. So, just weld the plastic sheets. And then what do I need? A crowbar and glass. I have the crowbar, but I don't have the glass. And I don't need the plastic sheets anymore, so I can swap. And it's still over here. Yeah, there they are. I don't want to put the glass sheets or the plastic sheets in here. I'm going to put them back in my locker. Oh, no, I did my crowbar. There we go. I'm going to put the plastic sheets back in here. I will need them eventually. So, crowbar and glass sheets. So now there's your door. Now you're trapped if that was sealed. You could use the crowbar to force them open. Just force them both open to start with. So you don't need the glass sheets anymore. Don't need the crowbar anymore. Now my hands are full again. Now guess what? They provide you with an active vent. All well and good. You want the active vent to point up. But since I'm using an advanced airlock, I'm going to need 2 active vents. And again, before I leave today, I will explain to you why I am using 2 active vents. Gold and copper. Gold, copper. I am going through the ore like crazy. There we go. So I need 1 more of those. And I also used up all my pipes. So I need 2 passive vents. Put that up. That's 1. That's 2. Now I'm going to make some pipes. You can't let pipes run because they... Oh no! A storm. I'm a little protected in here, but I'm not. Now it doesn't hurt you, but it ties you down. And I'm glad I picked everything up out here, because if I didn't, it would be blown away. It doesn't affect anything but things that you don't have tied down. So luckily, I'm okay. So let me pause it till the storm's over. It'll probably take 4 minutes or so I'm going to pause it. Okay, that was a really long storm. While I was waiting, I did put the second active vent up here, and I put 2 passive vents, 1 there and 1 out here. But I do need to make some pipe, and I couldn't do that because of the storm. They would have blown them all away. So, oh, no, no. That was a long storm that made it very boring. Okay, so I'm going to run a fourth pipeline through here, so, and I did take the, oh, see what I mean by you can't let pipes. I should put a stacker here like I did here, and it'll stack the pipes in stacks of 20 instead of letting them fly all over the place. I'm going to print out 10 of these. It's pretty quick. That should be enough. So before I do that part, and I may move some of these, but I think, remember I put the pipe vent up top. You want to pipe the active vent into that one, into that passive vent, and let's go up. You can put pipes through. Is that where I want to go? Yeah. Just wanted to make sure I'm doing that right. You can put pipes through the side of the, let's see, you can't put them through the door. You can go right along the side of it. Now I think I got enough. I'm going to put one more pipe in here for future use. So, and then I can seal this. Yep, I made just enough. That's unusual. So I got the wires through, I got the pipes through. So now, yeah, filter's low. Now I can seal this. Remember to stay out of the way of it. Okay. And I can seal this. And I got that all done. The only thing I need to do here is put a glass over that. And now I got some wiring to do. And I'm hoping I have enough heavy cables. You know what? I jumped the gun. What is that? Let's empty my hands a little bit here. Not going to need that anymore. Not going to need that anymore. That should do for now. I need the wrench because I did jump the gun on this wall. Because I need to run power into here. And we can just take that. Come on. Gee whiz. Thank you. We can just take that through here. And then reseal this. Okay, now we're good. And I'm running out of hands again. So I decided to put this over here. And I did take that down too. So that'll empty one hand. And connectors. And I could have done this. Go straight across. Tee that up. And just go straight across there. Tee that. And I can start connecting some of this. So we need to go up into that, down to there, run that through there, and straight through here. So those are all wired. And I got to come over here and wire that. So I got the doors powered, you can see the run. I got the vents hooked. Now to keep this straight. You think this is a waste of time, but trust me, it is not. So this is the active vent exterior. Exterior active vent. Interior active vent. You don't need to label that. This is the airlock gas sensor. Exterior composite door. Interior composite door. That should be everything. So, and I have 4 cables left. Look at that. Now you need the programming disk. And you want to slap that into that slot. So, before I go any further, why did I use a advanced airlock? Remember Mars's atmosphere. The top 3, CO2, nitrogen, and O2, are not a problem. The pollutants, every time, if I didn't use an active vent, every time I use a regular vent, it would let 0.646, or let's do it this way, better way, 0.059 moles of pollutants into my room. Not a big deal, but if you go in and out, in and out, in and out, it adds up, and then you end up with too much pollutants in here, and you have to filter it out. So I use an advanced one so I don't have to worry about it. Now that I got that explained, I'll turn this on. This looks more complicated than it is, but the first thing I want to do, this is just saying, what do you want to pressurize the airlock to before it opens? I don't care. I've set it to 0. If you don't leave it, if you leave it at 100, it takes forever. So I set those to 0. The gas sensor, that's the airlock gas sensors. That's what I want, so you click on it. Notice it turns green. Interior composite door. No, because this is the exterior. Exterior composite door. Click on it. Now this is changed to interior. Click on it. Interior active vent exterior is not what I want. Exterior active vent exterior, you click on it. Interior, click on it. And notice it automatically works. Now our airlock is complete and functioning. Our room is sealed. So this will be the last step of today. You may be asking earlier. There we go. You may be asking earlier why I saved this, and I could put my thing back in there. First thing I'm going to do, and I'll probably pause it to do this, I'm going to go get more oxide ice, and I will be right back. Okay, so I got a stack of oxides. I don't know if that's enough. We'll get started with that. Now, when the room is not pressurized, and it's not, it's going to try and pressurize, and it's not going to have any air to do it with, so you just hold on a second, I did that wrong. Because I set it to 0, it's not going to pressurize. So it should open right up. Okay, good. So, now in here you could just drop the oxides you have. Now notice, they're not melting. They're just going to sit there. That's why I saved this, because this has my warm breathed air in it. When we open that, can I get it? Yes. Now notice the ice is melting, and the room is pressurizing. I'm already up to 15 kPa, 1920. So this is now a cold, but I believe breathable atmosphere. Did this stop melting? Is it still going up? It's still going up. So let's see if it hollers at me. Nope, it's gone. Let's see if it hollers at me for the cold temperatures. Let's try and open the helmet. There we go. I now have a living area where if I wanted to, it'll get dark if I do this, but if I wanted to, I could take my suit off and slowly get rid of this problem up here. I don't want to do that right now. Now I gotta find my helmet. But there you go. You have your first living space. You can start putting things in here, start figuring out what you want to do. And I think that'll be it for today. Before I go outside, I'm going to reclose my helmet. Lock it. Now this will, see, I want this pressure higher for like greenhouses and stuff. In the long run, I'll throw some more oxides in here. But you see that it's now breathable. If you had an emergency, you could come in here and breathe until you figured it out. And the airlock will work. You have some sound because there's better pressure. And there you go. I do not import any pollutants into my room because I use the advanced airlock. So that'll be it for today. We got our first living area set up. We did a little IC programming. The generator is automated. I haven't had to put anything in that. I will have to move these, stick them out here or something, but I'm not too worried about that. That's a quickie. That's pretty much it. I can actually probably get rid of this now, but hopefully that helped. I have my atmospheric pipes all ready to go to town. We showed you how to wire an airlock, and we're off pretty good now. One other quick thing. This is actually something that I see a lot of people do. I bring this inside because now that I have a living space, I don't have to worry about just setting it down and have it not blow away. Now I see a lot of people open this to pressurize your room. You could do that. I don't, because I like to use this for breathing air until I get my atmospheric set up. And I can pick that up, put it outside. Yeah, if you want to open the valve and turn it to 90 kPa, it'll pressurize the room to 90 kPa, but you'll be out of oxygen. So I don't like doing that. You know what, while I'm in here, let's swap those out. No reason to waste air on Mars. You open the canister and empty it in your living space, and it adds some CO2, which is not harmful. But that's it for today. Hopefully they found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe and like and follow. I will continue to develop the space. I have big plans for this. Next episode, I think I'll be getting into atmospherics. I may throw a heater in here to start with to get it a little warmer, because I think it was, if it's below 20, then your plants aren't going to grow very well. They won't grow at all, probably. So again, we'll do some more things in the future here. Between episodes, I'll do more mining. I used up just about everything I mined yesterday. I'm surprised I got gold left, to be honest with you. But again, this is Maybe Old Salt Gamer. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you in the next episode.